Welcome back to the Career Growth Podcast. I'm your host, Kailas, and I am joined by my colleague, Global Partnership Associate and resident madman at CP, his words, not mine, Yash. Hey, Yash, how's it going? And also, of course, please, this is your first appearance on the podcast, so please do give
Yeah,
an intro of yourself to our audience who are just meeting
sure.
you for the first time.
Hi, Kailash. Thank you for finally inviting me to this podcast. Right, finally, guys. Like whoever is watching this video, like Kailash never invited me to this podcast. I had to go to him
Lies.
and I had to tell him, please invite me to the podcast. I'm feeling a kind of FOMO, like a fear of missing out. But
Lies.
I'm really glad that you invited me for this podcast. And yeah, so. As Kayla said, I'm a resident madman here at CP, which means that I'm really a madman. I can legally say that, Kayla. You can add this, I'm a madman.
Whatever you say, you can describe yourself. It's fine.
Yeah,
It just gets
yeah.
problematic when I do it. That's
Oh, yeah. Yeah, but
yeah.
I work in the global partnerships team. That is the placement team here at CP. So we are just connecting and bridging the gap between great talent and great opportunities, great employers. So it's fun. It's quite a lot of fun. And I'm from India. I'm from Mumbai. I'm the pride of India. Right? Yesterday, the team here at Vietnam, they gave me the award for being the pride of India. So yes, I'm the
They
pride of
did. They
India.
really
I
did.
take India
No,
everywhere with
wait,
me.
hold on. You can't just say that they gave you an award for it without giving context, because people are like, are they just giving people national like awards or something? So at CP, for
No,
context, we
yeah,
have an award show every year where we gift each employee an award according to their traits.
yeah,
So Yash is known as the pride of India over here in
yeah.
CP.
Placements and the pride of India, right?
Yeah,
Like the pride of India, taking this everywhere and taking the logo everywhere.
this is true.
Yeah,
So, Yash, you are very passionate about sales. We had a conversation earlier. I was thinking, of course, how could we, really have a fruitful conversation about this? And I thought, you know what Yash could help me with? Perfecting how to have better sales techniques, how to perfect your strategy for 2024, because that's something that a lot of people are interested in, and you have
yeah,
tons of experience in that too, right? So
yeah.
what we're going to do today is we're going to dissect this topic. We're going to explore ways to improve your sales techniques while also listening to the woes of strangers online and trying to figure out if we can fix their problems too,
Okay.
even though some of these are very outdated. So heads up. Okay, but I think the most important thing for us to do right now is to define what makes a good salesperson. Like, sales has always relied on personality and a natural charisma, and that does not mean things haven't evolved, but people have changed. The perception of a salesperson and even the term salesperson has changed. You have
Mm,
many different terms for it, which I'm pretty sure you're also used to, because
yeah,
that's your designation as well technically is global partnerships associate, and that involves techniques but does not fall under sales,
yeah.
but you still need to inculcate those aspects and qualities into yourself. So could you define for us what it means to be in this field today and what has changed?
Okay, yeah. It's actually like, it's flipped. Uh,
Mm.
if you ask me what was an ideal candidate for sales, or what was the designation for sales, or what people used to do in sales before 10 years, and now it's totally flipped, right? People for like now, if you if someone gives me the designation of like of a sales associate, I'm happy with that. I don't need global partnerships, I don't need business development, I don't need anything like that, right? But before, yes, people used to have these designations. And it was so, if someone, like, just talks about sales, right? So what does come to your mind? a tacky salesman, a pushy salesman, like telecalling, cold calling. You're getting a lot of LinkedIn DMs. You're getting a lot of emails, spam emails, and everything. Like, why was spam invented? Because of salespeople, right? Like, they were getting into the inbox, right? So it's totally different.
I think we're
Before it
slowly
used to
turning the
be,
population against salespeople. With like spam is because of salespeople.
yeah, actually, like, I don't have any shame in in keeping it keeping it as a statement, but it's before it was um, like, people didn't know that, like, not all people, but some people, like, didn't know that in sales, eh, you have to not just sell, you have to have a relationship, right? You need to establish um, a relationship and then nurture it. Obviously, you are having an end goal, right? So everyone in the life, we have an end goal. That is why we are in certain relationships. We create, like, certain relationships with, we nurture them, so that at the end we meet our goal, right? So that is why, in so before, it was not more about concentrating on establishing the relationship. In these times, it's about like, establishing relationships and, like, maintaining them, and then it's a slow process, it's a slow process, but it's actually really good, and people make a lot of money in sales.
Yeah. Subtle flex there. Just
No.
a bit. But that's so true. And I just thought that the way people speak and respond to a salesperson has also changed. The way they interact with them has also changed. And I
Yeah.
just want to kind of dive into an example. I want to get your opinion on it and what you think about this person's technique.
Hmm.
So, this Redditor states that they once went into a Kiehl's, and Kiehl's, they sell cosmetics and stuff, and they told the sales associate that they were looking for a good face cream. And the sales associate responded by saying, "Your face is insanely dry. You need more than face cream. Like, it is so dry. I've never seen skin as dry as yours." I was really insulted, so I just left. And the same person has also shared one other incident, which is kind of sad. So this one was in China. Apparently, the salesperson there had kept trying them, kept trying to get them to try jackets out, but because they're more top heavy, none of them would fit. And apparently, the response was to quote unquote fat shame that poor person. So this has been the experience. What does this tell you about their technique, and what is your thought on it?
It's not a good technique for selling. Like, if I'm the salesman, right, in that shop, and you come to me, like, hey guy, come here, I have a I want to buy this, I have a dry skin, like, if I'm the sales guy, and if you come to the store, right, and if you ask me that, my face is dry, what should I do? So I won't be like, yeah, it is so dry. I won't do that. Come on. It's like, it's actual insult, right? It's actual insult. So
Common
I would never
sense,
do
isn't
that.
it?
It's common sense. Like, you just need to talk to him or her as, like, as a friend. Like, okay, yeah, this, like, give information on the product. Like, they are asking you about a product. They are not asking you about their skin. So the the thing is, at such times, what, like, I have seen myself doing this at some point early in my career, right? And then I got these rejections, and that is how I evolved, right? So at this point, what should we do is, if the customer is asking you that I need this cream, what is inside that? Okay, so the answer should be, the ingredients inside these are the answer should be, the ingredients inside this cream is ABCD, right? And then give the context. that okay,
Mm,
this has, let's say, for example, potassium chloride, okay, or maybe glycerin, right?
mm,
So okay, so this cream has glycerin, and it is for let's say dry or maybe
yeah.
soft skin. What type of
Mm,
skin do you have?
mm,
So this converts into a conversation, right?
yeah.
It's not instigation like, oh, you have dry skin. All right, I'm not going to give you this.
Oh,
The
you have
dialects
very
come
dry
out.
skin. Yes, yes. You have dry skin? Yes, I confirm it. Okay,
Yeah,
bye.
yeah. So
Yeah,
the dialects, like and that insult comes in in your mother, like the tone of your mother tongue, right?
yeah,
So if you're in India and
yeah.
I'm a Gujarati, right, and if the
Mm,
salesman is Gujarati, so it would be
yeah.
like, oh, bhai, you have dry skin, okay, so you need this. So
Mm,
no, I won't be buying that. Like it's an insult, so I won't be
yeah,
going for that. It's like, so the conclusion is that you need to give the answer, a correct, straightforward answer, right? Sometimes simplicity wins, right? And
yeah,
simple conversations also wins, right? So
yeah,
you just need to give the answer, then ask an open-ended question that can create some context for the conversation, and then carry forward the conversation.
yeah.
Slowly get the customer in your zone, in your comfort zone, upsell them, cross sell them, do anything, like just sell, and then take them to the counter. That's all.
Yeah, that's true. And it's very true about actually providing context about a product and addressing their exact question was what could help them, right? They wanted to know what could help them. They already know they have dry skin. They already know that they have, these issues. I'm pretty sure because every time I look in my face, I know what problems I have. And if I'm looking for a good product for my
Yeah.
face, that means I'm already aware of what I want that product to do. So addressing the customer's concern, and their actual question is vital. You're absolutely right. And I don't know whether this is the right approach, but I've been like cajoled into joining programs. The people would like, once I was walking in Singapore outside the MRT station, and this lady just grabbed me by the shoulders and started chatting away and really disoriented me, and then took me to a building. You know what she was talking about? She's like, look at you, you look so great. You know what would look better, like, if you like actually worked out a little bit more. And she was just talking, and I was very confused and surprised, and I just kept walking. Turns out there are this pyramid scheme where they sell you like health supplements. But you know what, she almost had me. I thought she all like I definitely thought that she was either going to harvest my organs or give me a cure all, one of the two. So one of the two, I was up for both. Either way, you lose some weight, right? Whether you lose some organs or you lose some weight, either way, you lose some weight. That's a joke.
Yeah.
Please don't go following strangers into buildings. Don't do it. I was just joking. But
Yeah,
even though
don't
it
do
happened to
that.
me,
Yeah.
I am different. I'm
Yeah, don't
built
do that.
different. But
Yeah.
Yash, you've also been doing this for a couple of years now as well. So I'm sure you have some insight as to what the ideal candidate would look in this field. Because not only do we hire, we also analyze candidates who apply through us. And we have insights as to, the evolving demands and requirements for such candidates, the ideal candidate. What do you think makes the ideal candidate in sales in 2024?
An ideal candidate would be like they just should be good in communications. That's all, and good at analyzing situations and how to give answers during that situation. So while you're talking, right, your brain should work really fast in analyzing the opposite person and what he would like to hear in the next 5 minutes.
Yeah.
So this is actually a skill, a life skill, right? And I won't go like, okay, they need a bachelor's degree in media marketing, communication, business management, business development, something like that. No, like someone is really good in communications and they have done bachelor's in civil engineering, master's in electrical engineering, or maybe like if they are actuary, or if they are, let's say, doctors, they have done they have done medicine. If they are good in communication, like you just know, you should just know how to talk and how to
Mm.
analyze the opposite person. That's all. That is an
Yeah.
ideal candidate. And while and how I would identify the candidate. So in my first 3 4 minutes in the conversation that I'm having with the candidate, I would identify, like in the first 3 4 minutes, if the candidate does not ask me any question, then the candidate is not an ideal candidate because it doesn't know how to start a conversation with me. Like people who are great in sales, people who are great in communications, they should have an icebreaker ready. I know
Yeah.
that I am going to talk to you in the next 30 minutes, right? I would be thinking about you before 30 minutes. Like, what does Kailash likes, or like, what can be an icebreaker so that when I join the call, even though let's say it's a catch up call, right? But then too, I need to have an icebreaker, and so
Hmm.
I can have a great conversation with you.
Yeah.
So this is actually the things that I look out for.
Yeah.
So you just need to have, and it relaxes your mind as well. Because some
Mm.
people, and this is actually my message to the people who are starting their career in business development or sales. So whenever you're going on the call, right, you have a lot of questions going on in your mind that, okay, how is this person going to pick up the phone? How is he person going to be in the meeting? Is he going to
Yeah.
turn on the camera? Is he going to be friendly? Is he going to be like, let's get to the point and let's finish it up? Is he going to tell me something else? Can I get the result out of this call? So these are questions, like, it comes in any person's mind. Like even for me, it comes in my mind. But when I have this mindset that, okay, I'm just going to have a conversation, that's all. It's like
Hmm.
I'm also relaxed. So it creates a relaxation for your mind.
Hmm.
That, okay, you are just going for just a dialogue between you and
Yeah.
someone else. That's all.
Yeah. Yeah. I
And
see that. I
that
understand. Yeah.
you
Like
become natural.
you,
So
yeah,
yeah,
you don't have that extra pressure on you to get them to trust you, but going into the call with that in your head would actually make you more stressed out. So you want it to be natural, you want the conversation to
yeah.
be natural, but you're not setting yourself up for failure at the very start. You're not setting yourself up
No,
for failure.
it's no, it's
Yeah.
never like that. It's like
Mm.
in the world, I don't know. Like I can just say about India. In India, there are 1.5 billion people. China 1.3, 1.4 billion people, right? So maybe we have 6 to 7 billion people in the world. And if I lose one prospect, I'm having many more prospects. But that is not the attitude that I should keep. That is in the back of my mind, right? But I should try to maintain that relationship. So if I cannot uh, fulfill my end goal during this time, with like the time is not correct for both of us, right? So that's not a problem. Maintain the relationship. Like, how do you maintain a relationship with a friend? You don't have an end goal, right? But you maintain the relationship with your friend, right? So actually, when you go out with them, let's say for coffee, for drinks, you have fun. So that is your end goal. That is why, like, you carry on that relationship for years and years, right? So in sales also, like, you have to maintain the relationship so that if not now, even after 10 years, you fulfill your end goal at some point, because
Yeah.
the person knows that you have done a really good job in maintaining the relationship, and coming back to the square one, that is when they realize that, okay, this person is trustworthy.
Mm.
So then the trust comes.
Mm. True,
It's very
true that.
natural.
Hmm. That makes sense, really. And but it's not just the person itself that we need to focus on, because we live in a technology-rich time right now, And due to that, they also need to utilize various tools and platforms to assist them in their day to day. We also were primarily remote team, so we
Yeah.
can't work without technology to aid us. And
Hmm.
without technology to aid us. And of course, the secondary thing there is that we all utilize different tools for our purposes. So
Yeah.
that's like helping people out, to give them a little bit of an insight as to what kind of tools they can expect to use. Could you give us like a rundown of your day and what tools you use and how this helps you do your work effectively?
Sure.
Yeah.
So the most important tool that I use is my tongue and my brain. That's
Yeah, no, no, no. Hey.
okay. So that, you know what? Let's cut that. So the most important tool for me is actually my voice and my brain, right? So, but
Are you a
it's actually a
cyborg?
tool.
I'm saying, I'm
It's
saying
actually
technology, technology. What technology do you use?
yeah. This is a technology that God made for us, right?
Do
So
you?
this is very important. This is very important, but yeah, like in actual technology. So
Mm,
one of my most important tool is Otter. I use Otter a lot because I have quite a lot of video meetings during the day, um, and during the night as well. But so what it does is actually it joins the Zoom call, it joins the Google Meet, it joins the
mm,
Teams meeting 1 minute before it starts, and it is just like a personal secretary. Yeah, really. It writes the minutes, it writes the transcript, it records it, and then at the end, after 30 minutes, after the meeting is completed, it gives you the meeting summary to you, to the client that you are talking to, right? So you don't need to send a follow-up email as well. And before the call, they give you they send the invitation to the client for like collaborating on this auto project, small project, like the 30 minutes call, they call it a project. And then, like, they share the meeting summary with them. And it is properly AI based. So you just, like, they have questions. I just have to select the questions, like, what are the action points from this meeting? So that is the question. Click,
yeah.
it will write you down, like, these are the action points. So, like, since the last 12 months, I do not keep any notebook with me. So actually Order does all the things for me.
Wow.
And when it joins, so like the name comes as autopilot. So it's quite cool name, and it comes like Yash's autopilot. So yeah.
Yash's
And also,
autopilot.
actually, I'll there's another reason that I like to keep it. So a lot of the employees
Yeah.
are not familiar with this. So they come on the call and
Yeah.
they ask me, like, what is this Otter? What is this
Mm,
Yash's Otter? Is there another person? So that is a point that, like, I start talking to them. Like, okay,
yeah.
this is an AI tool that I use. It
Mm,
does these things. So
yeah.
on the side, I'm selling Otter as well. Like, I should become an affiliate for them. I could earn a lot of commissions.
Well,
But
to be fair, it's also a bit of a convo grease. I think that's pretty like when you use something new and the other person is not familiar with it and you're meeting for the first time, it's also fun to like you can sort of have a conversation then and there. It eases it a bit. Oh yeah, look, this is a really cool thing, and then you're interested all of a sudden.
yeah,
So I think
yeah,
that's a fun way
it's an
to break
icebreaker.
the ice.
It's an
Yeah,
icebreaker. Yeah.
yeah. So yeah,
Apart from
Otter,
that,
if you're listening, Yash could be an
okay,
associate for you all. Just letting
come
you
on, y'all are
know.
letting me go. Y'all are letting me go.
Work part time. Work part time.
I'm getting to know this on a podcast. That is bad.
It's Yeah, in all seriousness, please.
Yeah. All right. So, apart from auto, I use HubSpot,
Mm.
right? It actually, it's quite, it's how can I say, like, it's all, everything at one place.
Mm.
Call,
Yeah,
message, like call,
yeah,
email, task, everything at one place. That's all. And yeah, like for us in business
yeah,
development, that are the only tools that actually help us. And you know what?
yeah.
Actually, one another tool, it's really great.
Mm.
Uh, so it is not for day-to-day use, but people who are in business development slash sales, they should know quite a lot of current affairs, like what is going on, right?
Mm.
So I have this app. It is currently only in India. It's called In Shorts. So what it
In
does is,
shorts, yeah.
yeah, uh, there are very big news articles, right? We don't
Mm.
like to read newspapers now, right? Some people like to do, but we don't like to read. So what it does is, it collects all the news from, like, from every source, and it explains in short. So in
Ooh,
shorts,
okay.
right?
Nice.
And you
Yeah.
just get it, like whatever is happening in the world, you just get a notification, right? I'm talking to someone, let's say in
Mm.
private equity, and
Yeah.
let's say, so there's a very um, popular stock. A lot of
Yeah.
private equity, investment management, IB, they talk. The people in that industry, they talk a lot about this stock. So it's I don't know how to pronounce it correctly, but it's Nvidia,
Nvidia. Yeah.
NVID. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's a very popular stock as of now, and let's say I get that notification on InShots that that stock took a very big hit,
Mm.
and um, the New York Stock Exchange is crashed, right? So at this
Yeah.
point, I can, if I'm having a call with someone in private equity or maybe IB, right?
Mm.
And if I'm getting that news before him, or like, at the same point like him, right?
Mm.
That could be a good conversation, because at that point, either he is benefiting for that from that situation, or he has suffered a loss from that situation.
Yeah.
So maybe he would be at his emotional high, emotional low. So at that point,
Yeah.
anyone, if I'm on an emotional high or low, I'm going to speak about me and how I'm dealing with that situation. So
Mm.
it could be a good conversation. It could be a good conversation
Yeah.
starter.
Yeah. It's true. It'll be really funny if by the time this episode goes out, whatever you said about a video actually came true. That would be hilarious. Can you imagine?
Actually, it came to my mind. It came to my mind because I'm seeing a
Yeah,
lot of Nvidia things on in
yeah.
shorts on every news platform. So that is why, maybe, like, if, do you know Doctor Octopus, or there was
From
this
Spider
octopus?
Man?
No, no, no,
No.
not from Spider-Man. This was
Doc
this
Ock.
octopus who predicted that 2012 is going to be like the last year for humanity, or like, for mankind. And people,
2012, when
yeah,
we all thought we were going to
2012.
die.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
So I'm going, if this happens, if Nvidia stock crashes down, right, I'm going to
yeah.
be the Dr. Octopus.
We can really capitalize on that. We can. We can set up
Yeah.
services to get your fortunes predicted by by Doctor Octopus 2.0, aka you.
Yeah, yeah. Come to capital placement, and he will predict which company
One
you're
free
going to join.
prediction. One free prediction for first comers.
Yeah,
So let's like also dive into another one of these sales stories. So
sure.
a redditor shared that I wanted red Adidas, and they did not make women's Adidas in red. So I was shopping in the boys and men's section. When the shoe salesman there asked me what I was looking for, instead of helping me find or order my size in the red shoes, he spent 20 minutes trying to convince me to purchase pastel lavender or pink Adidas instead because they're meant for you. Men's shoes will ruin my gait. My feet are far too petite to ever fit in men's or boys' sizes. And he said a bunch of other things about it as well, trying to convince her to buy a different color shoe than she really needed. So, as you can see here, we're looking at two different points of views. One thing is the salesperson has an idea in their head, in his head, as to what kind of sale he wants to make and how he could, quote unquote, like improve the customer's experience from his point of view. The customer, though, has a very specific need and does not want anything else. So she has made up her mind. Now, this
Yeah.
interaction is obviously not going to be positive for either one of them because they're both just disagreeing, right?
Hmm.
In your opinion, if this situation were to happen, how would you have handled it?
If you don't have it, then just say no. That's all. If
Yeah.
you don't, if you cannot provide that service, like, just say no. Just be honest. Just don't try to see, because the customer has come in the store with
Mm,
with the mindset that she wants that color, right? And you cannot just, okay, you don't have that color, right? Just tell her that, sorry ma'am, we don't have that
mm,
color, but these are the other options that we have. But don't go for, like, we have the lavender, we have the pastel, we have this. No, it feels offensive, right? Like, I have asked for something else, you are telling me something else. Like, it feels offensive. Like, you have
mm,
like, it actually feels offensive because I have asked for something else and you are giving something else to me. So I would feel that you are judging me. So I won't ever, like, be in that situation. I would be like, I like, all these things I used to do at the start of my career, Kailash. I would be
mm,
very honest, very
mm,
honest.
mm,
But I came to this point that, see, people grow with experiences, right? So
mm,
yeah, but it's good. Like, I can give out those experiences through this podcast, right? But
mm.
please don't do this. It's actually, it's not good. Like, it's really not good. The customer is not going to come to your store, like, anytime soon. Like, she's going to come back. It's Adidas, right? She's going to come back, but not anytime soon. So you're losing out that customer.
You
No.
don't think so, dude? Yeah. Now, here's the thing about this, right? Additionally, and this is a topic that you and I also spoke about recently on our last call together, where we were talking about how important emotional intelligence is in sales.
Hmm.
And emotional intelligence, being able to just sort of read, and having some EQ, to be able to understand another person, to be able to empathize and be able to predict or at least see patterns in their wants and needs and their approaches. It takes
Hmm.
practice and it takes some investment. Why, from your opinion, how useful is emotional intelligence in sales and why is it useful?
It's actually the whole chapter, like, of sales,
Yeah.
right? It is total. It's 100% useful. It is. The thing
Mm,
is, it's, at the end of the day, it's psychology,
mm,
right? And when you're good at psychology, you need to be good at intelligence as well, right?
mm,
So, and intelligence, specifically in emotional intelligence. So why does this happen? Like, why? Like, it's a really great question. And
mm,
that emotional intelligence, it's very much attached and dependent on the behavior of the salesperson,
mhm,
right? Because they may have a need, they may have a want, they may have um, something that is, like, either hurting them or either, like, pushing them to do this, right? So at this point, you just have to balance it thoroughly, right? So let's say I'll give you an example. Um, a billionaire, let's say, loses, like his net worth is two billions. Okay, and we just like how we are talking about Nvidia,
Mm.
right?
Yeah.
So let's say the founder,
A
the owner of
hypothetical.
Nvidia,
Yeah.
yeah, the owner of Nvidia, he's a billionaire. Okay, he has $2 billion in his account, and the company got shut down in a day. He has no money left. He got bankrupt. What will he do? Can you give me the answer for that?
I don't know. You tell me. I feel like you have an answer.
Yeah, so like
Reveal your secrets.
whenever a person goes goes down in the drain and they
Mm.
don't have anything left, right? What would they find is, okay, like if they need to make some money for their for food, if they're running a family, right? And let's say, you know what, the Nvidia example was a very big one, right?
Yeah.
But let's say um I lost my job, right? I'm running my family based on this job, right? I lost it. I got laid off. Okay. Then what I'm going to do? It's a very simple thing. I'll start applying for other jobs, right? But let's say I am not good at that. I'm not like I'm not getting success in that. I'm getting just rejections, right? But let's say my savings are there, but after a month, that are also drained. Okay, so now I am at my emotionally lowest point of my life,
Yeah.
that I need to buy groceries, I need to pay bills at the start of the month. How am I going to do this, right? So I'll just find something or somewhere. I'll just tell someone to give me something to sell, or with what I can make some commission, something like that, uh, and that could fulfill that want or maybe that need at this, or like the situation that I explained. At that point, it becomes a want. It doesn't become a need, right? So that is my want. So for that, I'm going to do anything. So at that point, when I'm really emotionally low, I'm going to be pushy. Let's say uh, one of my friend has uh, has a restaurant and he's suffering in selling franchisee of that restaurant, right? And he tells me, Yash, you're at your bad times. Let me give you this opportunity. If you get me an investor who could take the franchisee of my restaurant, I'll give you 10% out of the franchisee fee. Then I will be I will be going everywhere to find that investor, to find someone, or else not even this, or maybe let's say um, one of my friend has um, a sweet shop or something like that, and he tells me, like, if a snack shop, okay, and he tells me, get me some catering orders
Mm.
and I will give you 10% out of it. So I will just find those easiest, quickest ways, right?
Right.
Sales, sometimes it can be quick to make you money, but sometimes it actually, tears you out to make that money. But so it's like there are premium transactions, right? And there are some transactions which could make you money after, just like after closing it, right? But there are some transaction,
Yeah.
it will take you 2 3 years to complete it, but it will make your whole life, right? But you need to be emotionally balanced in both the situations. when
Yeah.
when you want to make quick sales, quick commissions, right? You, and obviously at that point you're going to be at your emotionally low, but you have to be mature at that point, that I don't need to lose the fact that I didn't lose my job because of my mistake. I was laid off, right? I learned something. I have years of experience, let's say not in that industry, but as a human being, I have that experience. So let me use that experience and, not in a quick way, but in a smart way, get out of this situation. So you have to be smart when you are emotionally low. Now, when you are emotionally very high, you're doing really great. You don't have to be smart. You have to be patient. That's all. Because
Right.
when you are emotionally high, you don't become smart. When you try to become smart, you become over smart. And that creates a problem. If you're working in a team, if you're working with a client, right? When you try to become over smart, and let's say you try to become um, the man of the room,
Mm.
right? People take you in a good way, people take you in a bad way, right? So at this point, when you want to make that big transaction, right? When you are emotionally high, just be patient and just go with the flow. That is what I've learned.
Right.
So it's very important. Like I would recommend this to everyone, that if you are going in business development, if you're going, like, just like in general business, right? Take a course of psychology. It makes you understand a lot about, because this, like the brain that we have
Yeah.
got, right?
Mm.
It's a very big machine, and it's like no one can think what happens inside of it, because it controls what we speak, how we act, what we do, how how we perceive the other person, the opposite person.
Yeah.
So emotionally balanced, it's actually good. And when
Mm.
you become emotionally balanced, when you are good in understanding the psychology of your own and opposite person psychology.
Yeah.
But it's a very important thing, like I will say it again, when you're
Mm.
at your emotionally high, if you try to become smart, you become over smart. So just be patient. Don't even become smart, just be patient, because
Yeah.
you have got that opportunity to um, cater that transaction, like the biggest sale of your life. You're going to make your life, right, with that. But
Yeah.
be patient.
Right.
I've learned from one of my mentors, and like, he told me this.
Well, that is actually a really interesting way of seeing things. Never actually heard this before. Maybe I'm in the outlier, but it's a pretty good advice. And there is a note of desperation when you are at your emotionally lowest state, and your instinct would be to act on it. It's just that the way you act on it matters a lot,
Hmm,
like how you
hmm,
carry out that. You have that inner drive in you, that real motivation that springs up, but it's about how you utilize it, it's about how you wield it, and you have to wield it strategically. And
yeah,
yes, sometimes you're going to be pushy about it, but that's just that. Those are your options, those are your options on the table. But to end on a lighter note, I'm going to share with you a Reddit story about the most embarrassing thing that happened to this
hmm,
person during a pitch.
all
So,
right.
this Redditor says, my most embarrassing moment. I was selling credit repair over the phone, and I was on the phone with someone, and I guess I was sleep talking. My manager woke me up and played my conversation over to me. I said, well, ma'am, it looks like you owe Starbucks money. It's showing right here you owe Starbucks money. I ain't ever heard of anyone owing Starbucks money. How did you do that? She proceeded to think I was blank, screwing with her, and got pissed off and stopped replying. So,
Let me laugh for a moment. Ah, to all the guys, like, viewing this or listening to this, I have not seen this before. Trust me, and this is not my fake laugh. This is actually very funny.
there was a reason for it,
Yeah.
because I want to ask you, what was the funniest or most embarrassing thing that has ever happened to you during one of your pitches or calls?
Oh man.
Be honest, be honest. Give
Ah,
us the details. Come on, come on, come on.
a lot of things happen, Kailash. A lot of things.
Bro, you can't just say that. You have to keep.
I'll just give you I'll give you first the outline, and then I'll go more in the context. So I
Mm.
was on an employer call. So at that point,
Yeah,
India and
yeah,
England,
yeah.
no, not India and England,
Was it during
actually
the cricket
Ashes.
match? Oh.
So the Ashes were going on. So
Mm.
Ashes is Australia and England. They have this
Okay.
test series. They have this cricket
Mm.
series. So at that, and it is like, people in England and people in Australia, they go mad about this series. So I started my
Nice.
conversation because I got to know from I did some research, and I got to know that he kind of like watches cricket. So this was my conversation starter,
Yeah.
and this led to him telling me that his daughter's favorite sport is cricket, and she is
Oh.
going to be maybe a cricket player. And then
Ooh.
from that, I don't know how he took the conversation from the daughter to his bachelor life, and then how he got married. Yeah. So at the end of the call, when I closed my laptop, after the call was supposed to be only for 30 minutes, and it got stretched for about 75-80 minutes. After the
Wow.
call,
Yeah.
I just closed my laptop and I was thinking, do I have any superpower? Like, do I make people talk about their personal life to me? What did I do? And why I have all this information? And at the end of the call, I didn't have, we never talked about internships. It was just a conversation. I took things seriously, right? Which I told you.
Uh,
I really took things seriously, and it was just a conversation.
yeah.
And I didn't know, what intern did he want, what type of talent requirement he's having. I did not know anything.
Ah man. No, but that's yeah. Losing control of the call is it happens to it happens to us. Like I've lost control of the podcast myself multiple times, especially when it's
Oh
with
yeah.
Vinay because Vinay has is really good at podcasting, and sometimes I'm just too I get so absorbed in his responses that I don't really keep track of what I'm actually supposed to be asking and timing. It's just that being a very
Hmm.
good conversationalist is a real like skill, and you can also get people to open up to you as well. Like
Yeah.
I think that's a really great skill to have. And also thank you for sharing that hilarious story. I'm truly sorry you were subjected to that,
Yeah.
and I hope things work out.
No, I'm really sorry, but there is one another thing.
Yeah,
It did not happen to me, but there was one of my candidate, and
yeah,
she was going for this interview with one of my really good employers. Right after that,
yeah,
that employer never came back to me. So
yeah.
that candidate, she was so smart
Mm.
that she fell asleep during the interview. Right?
Okay.
This is
Mm.
the reaction that I got from the employer.
What? What happened to the candidate? I mean,
Oh, she
I'm
didn't
guessing she
get the
didn't get
job.
hired. Did she get the job? No, right? Because
She
that would have
no,
been
she
breaking
didn't.
news. She must have done something
She
really
didn't get the
phenomenal
job,
otherwise.
and I lost the
Yeah.
employer.
Oh no, that's so
I
sad.
now I for before going on any interviews, I
Mm.
ask after that incident happened. I
Yeah.
ask my candidates that did you
Mm.
take a full night's sleep? Are you fully awake?
Yeah. At
So
least
I ask
chug a Red
these
Bull.
questions. That yeah,
You have to ask these questions, I guess, because what we do is we want to help candidates. It's not that we just sit aside and watch a trade wreck happen, because we've all been at any one of these stages in our own careers. So our goal is
Hmm.
to help candidates to lead them on the towards the right side of things. So this kind of advice really does help.
It's
Honestly,
actually,
do have a good night's sleep. Do it.
yeah, and people consider this that actually a lot of us in placement team,
Mm,
we have a job where we connect a lot with employers. No,
mm,
that is not the thing. We are a candidate first company, CP. So
yeah.
I'll make use of this T-shirt, right? CP is a candidate first company, right?
Mm,
So we maintain the relationship with the candidate first. We
mm,
prioritize them, right?
mm,
And we make sure that they don't fall into any loopholes during that process.
mm,
Like we put the cement on the road to the placement, right? So
mm,
that they can walk properly. They don't get
yeah.
they don't get any obstacles for the process, and we prep them for that. So
Mm,
that is what we do, and it's actually
yeah.
all of my colleagues in placement team, they like to do. And
Yeah.
even in the recruitment in the CS team,
Yeah.
like candidates are always first for us. I say
Absolutely.
this out loud to all my employers, and
Mm,
actually, this is what they like. All the
mm,
employers like CP because we are prioritizing our candidates, we are prioritizing the
yeah.
talent,
Yeah.
right? Finding talent right now in this stage, right?
Yeah.
Great talent. It's
Yeah.
very hard, right? We are,
True.
we are we are getting the talent, we are prioritizing them, we are conserving, we are nurturing them, and then we are connecting them with the best opportunities. So
Yeah.
that is what we are doing. So I just
Yeah.
wanted to clarify this.
Yeah, so thank you for the clarification. It's a much needed one to have because, of course, candidates would worry that we put too much emphasis on an employer or the company and that we don't take them into consideration, but we do. Not only do we take them into consideration, we do push them to the forefront. They are our priority. And yeah, it's good to know and it's good to say out loud as well. And we stand by it.
Yeah.
So, you know, do you have any last words of advice for anyone who's opting to enter the field of sales in 2024?
Just go for it. Yeah, like AI is taking over a lot of things, but never they are going to take over sales. So just get on it. Be emotionally balanced and actually enjoy doing this.
Mm.
Like if you don't find it enjoyable at the end of the day, then it is not meant for you.
Yeah.
But if you find it, just stick to it. I I came, I started from sales. I went into marketing. I was very deep into marketing. Marketing was too much for me. Like too many numbers. I'm not good at math, right?
Mm.
And it was something that I felt that it was like at the end of the day it was toxic for me. So, but this I'm enjoying. So
I'm
at
glad
the
you're
end of the day,
enjoying it.
if you're enjoying, just
Yeah.
do that, right?
Yeah.
And sales is a life skill everyone should have, even if you are not getting a job in sales. But it's a life skill. So if you
Mm.
get an opportunity to learn, see, no one can learn sales, but if you get an opportunity to take some courses, or no, not courses, but
You could
like
like take a master
yeah.
class. Yash's
Yeah,
master
like a
class on sales.
master class or something like that.
Yeah.
Just do it. It's a good life skill to have.
Yeah, definitely 100%. I would agree with you on that as well. I think sales is a very good life skill to have. Knowing how to sell is a good life skill to have. And thank you so much for joining us, Yash. That is the end of our session today. And I want to thank the audience for sticking with us this deep into the podcast as well. And always, as always, subscribe. Please do like, and of course, keep an eye on our
Thank you.
pages where we post career advice like week in week out, and of course we are also listening and we would also like your input and your feedback and your questions, so do send them in. We're happy to answer them. Thanks again, Yash, and I will see you all
Thank you,
next
Kenneth.
week. Bye.
Thank you. Bye bye.
Bye.